Fifth Skill is an entertainment show. Accordingly, subject matter discussed on this show may not be suitable for all ages. Parental discretion is advised. In no way does any part of the show reflect the morals or opinions of the YMCA or any associated organizations. Duplication of the show will be punishable by law. Restrictions apply. Results may vary. This is a DJ Beats production.
It's Fifth Skill, ladies and gentlemen. Let them know.
This is DJ Beats production.
You know it is, baby. It's time to do some work.
This is that roll call. Check them off, coach.
It's Miller time.
Yeah. And BET.
And Irene, you know it is so key.
Yeah. We got that roll call coming at you like a bus.
We're trying to make sure that all of y'all are watching us. We'll start with Claire Math. You know she in the A. Reed Musen at Miami mugging every day.
Michael Dawes in the big house wearing blue. Bailey Borchers doing big things at Vandy too.
We got our Bobcats, Avery Brandon, Sam and Murr. Rattle, rattle, here comes Howard Fritz and Kelsey Kerr. Sarah Stevens in Miami where we wish we were. John Simon holding down the perimeter.
Up to Charleston with Ashley and Melly C. Down to Southern, we're Dustin Man and Cody B.
Russell Schrader with that Auburn War Eagle pride versus Jack Kaysen screaming out, Roll Tide.
Kristen Sims up in Rocky Top, Tennessee. Cross country getting slushies with Audrey.
But most importantly, we got our Athens crew, UGA Bulldogs, coming after all of you.
Teeny Courtney Richter on the porch at AGD.
Whoop, whoop.
Dana Delta Sig hanging out with Barry.
We got Allie Briner, Iceman, and Christina. Heather Pratt's the oldest, she is a senior.
Dylan Schubert coming up for all the Georgia games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we just called out all the names.
You know we did. It's Fifth Skill, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to be back. For those of you who's first time watching this episode, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Thank you everybody so much for all the positive things you said about the show. And as long as you keep those comments coming, we're going to keep the videos coming.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got coming this week?
All right. Well, on the news, we have three very exciting topics today. I'm really happy to talk about this first one because I think it's something that everybody looks forward to, and it's a staff wish list, which are now available. If you're a CIT, a coming up CIT, and you've never done this before, well, I guess you wouldn't be doing a wish list, would you? Anyways, if you haven't done a wish list before, this is what you're going to do because LITs wouldn't have a staff account yet. Okay.
True.
So, anyways, if you've never done it before, you log on to your staff account. First, you go to ymcaatlanta.org, and it'll bring you up to this page. And then you can go up to the top right corner and pull that pull screen down, and it will say YMCA at Camp High Harbor if you scroll down a little bit. And so you click on that, and it brings you up to the YMCA Camp High Harbor homepage. Look on the left side of the screen, down towards the bottom, and it'll say staff account login or something like that. You click that, and it'll ask for your username and password. If you haven't made one, buy one. If you can't afford one, borrow. No, I'm just kidding. If you haven't made one, you'll have to make one right there. If you already have it, just simply log in, and it'll bring you up to this screen. And this is your staff account page. And up at the top right, you're going to see, I believe it's documents or folders or forms. It's forms. And so you click on forms, and it'll bring you up to your staff wish list. And you click on that and fill out all these boxes. So the first one's going to ask you which site, and then the next one's going to ask you when at that site, and then the next one's going to ask you what you want to do at that site. So you just fill those out, and then there's a comment box on the right side. Fill out the comment box, submit it, and you've done your wish list. Andy, you want to go ahead and tell them what this will do for them?
Yeah, this lets Drew or Andrew or whoever is in charge of setting the staff chart, just lets them know where you want to work, and you're ranking your positions here. So if you want to be older Pathfinders, top priority, and then you'll put that in your number 1. And if you want to be Trailblazers, second priority, you'll put that in number 2. Water sports, however you want to set it up, and it just lets people know where you want to work this summer, and gives you the best opportunity to work in the best position that you possibly can.
Absolutely, and keep in mind that You might not get exactly what you want on your wish list, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I've done the wish list every year. I've gotten it a couple times. I haven't a couple times. And I've been kind of bummed when I didn't get it, but once I got there, every summer is better than the one before. So, I mean, keep your chin up, especially right now, how there's going to be so much competition for spots. Take what you get. Be willing to do whatever you can that'll be best suited for what camp needs you to do. Drew talks about that at the ALA weekends all the time. That's one of his major themes. So just do whatever camp needs you to do, not what you need to do.
Absolutely. Moving on to our next subject in the news is the open house. There will be an open house at camp on October 25th. This is also an ALA weekend, October 24th and 25th at Lake Burton. So that Sunday, October 25th, there will be an open house where you'll be able to tour around camp, and people who have never been there before will also be able to come tour around. And this is a big opportunity for people who maybe have not been to camp before, because, I mean, we've been going to camp for years, and a lot of you all have also been going to camp for years. But believe it or not, there are people out there who have not been to camp before. Exactly. So this gives people an opportunity to come see camp, come see what we have to offer, and possibly send their kids to camp this coming up summer. So what do you think about that?
Right. So if you have any friends or anything like that, you need to tell them that there's an open house October 25th, and for their family to drive up and see camp if they want to. And it's just fun for you to come back and see camp. I mean, some of you only get to come back during the summer, so I love open house. I think it's great. For staff, obviously love to come back for anything during the off season. Campers love to come back, and parents really, really love to come see what they're paying all that money for.
Absolutely. And for more information on that, you can visit the Camp Out Harbor website. Go to Google, type in YMCA Camp Out Harbor. It's usually the first link up there, and you can find Drew's email, Ken's email address, and several other people from camp who will be able to give you more information on this open house. Mm-hmm. All right, and you want to start this one next one off?
And this is probably the most exciting for all of us over at the Rho Gamma household. We are getting a new Malibu for water sports this year. Woo-hoo! So we will have, I believe, 2 now, that is, right?
I hope
2
so.
jet skis, 2 Malibus, coming at you real fast.
Doing big things.
Absolutely. And you want to talk a little about how this is going to change everything?
I would like to talk about this. I've never been in the water sports program myself, but I have close friends who were, fellow staff members, and talk to campers who've been in the program. And a lot of times we get big weeks in water sports, but as you know, one boat can only hold so many people. So we had to cap the limit of campers in the water sports cabin. And I believe the boat we had maybe held about 20, maybe more, maybe less. I never actually rode on the boat. But a second boat is going to able the water sports cabin now to not only allow more campers to come to camp, but give the campers who are in the water sports cabin more opportunities to learn how to wakeboard, how to water ski, get to tube, kneeboard, anything they do in water sports. A second boat is going to enable them to do it more frequently, and will allow more campers to experience this. So overall, we'll be able to bring in more numbers at Raven Gap, and it's just going to add a whole new experience to water sports, I think.
So good news for you water sports veteran staff members, you're getting another boat this year.
Ooh.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and move it down to the eval for this week.
Evaluations.
Absolutely.
What do we got here for us today?
And today we have Parker, and I'm going to say Bergesagel, because that's what I always say. That's not how you pronounce it. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it. Are you? Bergesagel.
Bergesagel.
Parker Bergesagel. This comes from him earlier this week. It says, junior year so far has been tough, but I'm doing well. It's a ton of work, but I'm surviving. In between school, crew, and chasing paper, I've been pretty busy. And that's so true, because when you're out there in the streets fighting hard every day, he's a soldier. He's out there chasing it, but is he catching it is the question. Let me know, Miller Time. Is he catching the paper?
Parker Bergesagel is catching that paper, baby.
Yes, that's what I love to talk about. All right. So, this past week I met Megan Fox. Wow.
Please feel free to elaborate on that later.
Yeah, please. In private. Yes, it was as good as you think and then some. Oh, there's a little elaboration. Maybe a little bit too much.
Whoa.
Hey. All right.
All right.
And Parker would also like to send a shout out to all of his homies at Rho Gamma. Right back at you, my man, and he looks forward to seeing all of us soon! ! What do you have to say about Parker Bergesagel?
It sounds like Parker's having a great time. Still in high school, his junior year. I remember my junior year, it's a lot of new experiences for you.
Absolutely.
Still in high school, but he's having a great time. He's chasing paper, he's getting that paper, he's meeting Megan Fox. That's more than I can say for myself right now as a sophomore in
Oh
college.
man, you see this guy out there on the streets, and you see him with Megan Fox chasing paper, and you gotta just look at him and go, "This guy is doing it. He's getting out there in his community, and he's putting it all together." And it's just his junior year. He's a highly touted person coming into his senior year. And what does that do for you coming in with all this confidence with a new group?
It does a lot for you. He's representing Road Gamma real well, and hopefully with all this confidence he's got, he'll be able to translate that into the camp mode. So